Hey guys, JFM Studios here, aka Jeff and Taylor Comic, to give you the answers to last week's questions. Thank you guys for submitting for Q's. Now I'm going to give you my A's. Alright, I've got 10 questions here. That's awesome. So, yeah, let's get started. Alright, let's start with Draw Guy. He asks, what type of villains is best from Jeff and Taylor? This comic has a hodgepodge of different villains. We have villains with a tragic past, school bullies, corrupted robots, and bad guys who just want to do bad stuff just for fun. But you ask what type of villain is best. Well, we all know, my longtime readers know that the main antagonist is Mr. Johansson, aka Maricino, who is a general in Team Starhammer. Team Starhammer is like the main villain group in the series, kind of like Team Rocket from Pokemon. But they do have some funny stuff and with Team Starhammer interacting with the members, because most of the members are pretty comedic. Most of them, anyway. There are some members, especially ones who are higher up, that are more serious. And Mr. Johansson is the more serious guy. I never want to put him into a silly situation because it'll just ruin the illusion. It'll ruin his character. I'd say the best villain is the type that has the best interaction with the characters, and the type of villain that the readers love. They love to hate and love at the same time, So I guess Captain Starla is a good villain. Yeah, not a lot of people like DJ, since he's too crazy. But I never heard anything negative of Captain Starla yet. So I think a villain like her, one with a tragic past, even though we haven't really explored deep into her past, but we understand that there's some good in her. If you read episode 15, a little bit of good, she just needs to open up more, so that to me is the best J&T villain. Alright, next question from Ricky Rodriguez. Hey JFM, my question is, are we ever going to see a Carla or Sam episodes in the upcoming J&T comics? Funny that you ask that, because episode 17, Blue vs. Carla, will feature Carla, and Sam will have a cameo. She'll have an appearance there. And most of that episode will be Blue focused. Of course, the boys will be there, but they will have a somewhat minor role, which is kind of a breath of fresh air, because Jeff and Taylor aren't the only lovable characters in this comic series. And Blue is one of my most popular characters, so I'm just going to give her some shine. And it's been a while since we've seen her in a main episode, so yeah, it's time. It's time for her to shine. And Carlo and Sam will be there, and Sam will be more apparent in later quickies and episodes. I do have plans for her. Next question from Zachary Acuna. He asks, I'd like to know a few things. One is about when you think it's best for when a story should end. Ichiro Oda, the creator of One Piece, mentioned somewhere that he wanted his story One Piece to end after 5 years, but it went longer than that because he wanted his fans satisfied, and he was enjoying the world he created. What's your take on this? How would you go about this? Would you keep creating regardless if people view and enjoy your work? Yeah, that is a good question. In my opinion, whatever you create, whether it's a comic, a graphic novel series, a TV show, a movie series, a soap opera, it has to come to an end somehow. It's a story, There's a beginning, middle, and end of every story. And yes, I do like to see my readers satisfied and enjoying themselves and the characters. But, everything has to come to an end. Especially Jeff and Taylor. if Jeff and Taylor becomes mega popular and gets read by millions of people around the world and becomes a TV series and people love it, people cosplay, that's the dream right there. That's what I want. That's what I really want, man. Ever since I was a teenager, I dreamt of that. But I also have to respect myself and respect my creative integrity, and I have to end the series. And to end the series in the way that I see fit. And of course, I can't let the influence of fans to control the comic. I mean, I would listen to your guys' advice, but when it comes to changing the story's narrative, I can't do that. I have to do things the way I feel. It's like if with shipping, one fan might think, oh man, I think Jeff and Blue would go well together. You have to make them into a couple. You have to. And I'm like, they would be cute together, but I just don't see it. So there's that. Everything has to come to an end. And it's, in my opinion, it's ridiculous how long One Piece is. Like what I read online. One Piece is a lifelong commitment. If you want to watch all those episodes or read the manga. Video games. Video games is a good example. Video games don't go on and on. They end when you beat the game, Alright. Chris 76736 asks, is there anything that you can say about the dark future of JNT? And I've always wanted to know if you've already have most of the series planned out. Yes, I have most of the series planned out already. I didn't have all the details or the character arcs all planned out, but every day I am researching and getting inspired by different things, and I do tweak things a bit, but overall I have everything planned out. And when it comes to the dark future of JNT, near the end of the series there is an episode where Jeff looks into the future and he tries to change it. I mean, I won't give you the details, but it's one of those things where he actually sees the actual future and he convinces Taylor that, they have to change it. Change it into a good future. So there's that. Man, if only we all had that clairvoyance. Alright, Eli Madness. His question is it possible you can do a crossover of JNT and Loud House? Well, with copyright, no, I can't do an official crossover or something. I can make crossover, fan art, with JNT characters meeting Loud House characters. I can do that for fun, of course. I can do that. But when it comes to the actual comic series, no, I can't put actual Loud House characters interacting with my JNT characters. I mean, I could sneak in a little cameo. I mean, I did put Lincoln in that crowd of people in that circus episode 15. He's there. I did put Lincoln's head in one of my quickies that I released. So there's that. I can do sneaky stuff like that, but not actual official stuff. Official crossover, Princess of Balance, your question is, how has your comic making process changed since you moved? Oh boy, I am actually making episodes and writing scripts much faster. Since I'm now working for myself for the time being, I have all day to do what I want. And what I want is to make comics and write scripts. Also, there's making, doing commissions and drawing other things and errands, all that jazz. But I am making my comics much faster this time around. And yeah, it's a double-edged sword. I have all the time in the world to do what I want to make me happy, but not a lot of money is coming in. So there's that. But I want to change that. I want to earn money by selling my comics. And hopefully I will do that early next year. KJ Broadway, your question is, if some executive makes a decision to bring your comic to TV, what network would you want it to be on? would you do TV exclusive episodes? That is a great question. Yes. Man, that's the dream right there. What network would I want it to be on? Well, if I want to be true to the comic, which is, rated PG, there is some minor swearing, and there are some characters, mostly villains, who we see smoking and drinking alcohol, and a little bit of sexual references. So the kids show, the kids channels are out of the question. They won't be accepting that, but I can see it in Adult Swim. Adult Swim, even though J&T isn't raunchy enough for Adult Swim, I do see it there as the first thing to show when the Adult Swim block comes on. That's appropriate. Also, I also been thinking, what about other shows that have lack of animated, sitcoms and shows like the USA Network. I always thought that was cool. If J&T were to be the first animated series on the USA Network, at least I think. There's also TBS, and there's also trying to hit prime time on NBC, but I don't know. NBC is mostly sitcoms and dramas, live action sitcoms and dramas. The other thing is doing streaming, J&T on Netflix or something. So there's that. Whichever, the more corporate friendly would be Adult Swim, but I guess the most viewer friendly would be Netflix, maybe. I don't know. I'm open to any ideas as long as it gets people watching. And there'll be TV exclusive episodes. I'll be sure to do that. Episodes that I have in mind, but never had the chance to do it in comic form or something. Definitely, I would make some TV exclusive episodes, especially for my hardcore readers. All right. Never Grow Old asks a very ironic question. What would J&T look like in college? I do have an image right here where it shows Jeff and Taylor older. They are 24 years old in this picture. Of course, this is a bleak look, because this is in their dark future. But yeah, they would look something like this. Taylor would grow some, facial hair, and he would get bigger. And Jeff would grow out his hair and get new glasses and not wear his hat anymore. 3D Mario World, your question is, stop me if you've heard this before, but what inspired you to create this comic series? And do you have any advice for those who want to make comics? Let's see. What inspired me to make this specific comic series? Well, I've always liked making comics and stories, and Jeff was my first original character. He was going to be part of my, Pokemon series that I was making for fun. And then I made Taylor as a friend for him. And then I just drew them together in different situations. But then, when I was a freshman in high school, I decided, hey, I want to have Jeff and Taylor be in an official series or something. So I created all these characters, and I was inspired by Keaton and Kel and A Case Closed, if you know that anime. Aqua Teen Hunger Force was a huge influence. I wanted to make a show or a comic that I would personally enjoy, so I wanted to make J&T, so there's that. And my advice for all you creators out there is just create something that you would enjoy the most. If you like fantasy, make a fantasy. If you like horror, make a horror. Do the things that you are best at doing. And you'll have fun, and you'll be surprised how many people would be into your stuff. So that's my advice. And last question from a Faded Unicorn 777. Not sure if you answered it before or not, but if I'm just dumb and missed it, but it always seemed like Taylor and his family were of Asian descent to me. Is he indeed of an Asian bloodline? Keep up the good work and thanks for the inspiration. Well, no problem. Well, you're welcome and I thank you for being a fan. Funny you mentioned that because, yes, Taylor, I do imagine Taylor does have a little bit of Asian blood in him. I imagine his grandma on his in his mom's side is Asian. I don't know what Asian. I don't know if she's Japanese or Korean, whichever. I have to think about it. But yes, I do imagine Taylor's mom's side does have Asian. And he does have some Italian roots. So he's a mix, Italian and Asian. So that's cool. While Jeff is, a mix of Caucasian and Latino. All right. So that's it. That's all the questions I had. And thank you guys for asking the questions. And look forward to some more J&T stuff. I mean, I will go onto a little bit of a hiatus, taking a break, going to visit family for Christmas. But while I'm there, I will be working on some stuff, especially some scripts. I'll be writing some scripts for sure. And the Jeff and Taylor Quickies are up every Tuesday and Saturday. I'm now updating every Tuesday and Saturday for now. So look forward to that. All right, guys. See you guys later. JFM out. And have a great rest of the week. And I hope you have a wonderful holiday. JFM out. Goodbye.